When I was speaking at a human design experience this past weekend, Miami edition, I was talking about the core wound and BDSM. Body, design, synergy, movement. Don't make it dirty. Although you could. I'm just saying. Somebody asked me, when you're spiraling, how do you get yourself out of it? And in the moment, I responded to say, I don't know. I didn't have the words yet to really explain the way that I move. And I was interpreting the question in the moment. Side note, I have a split definition, right? So sometimes when you ask me a question in the moment, if it's a question that I've never been asked before, I may not have an answer. And I might kick myself later, right? Over, Emily, you weren't prepared. You gave a non-answer, etc., etc. People aren't going to take you seriously. They're going to doubt you. Get rid of that voice, okay? If anything, people are going to respect me more for being honest about the fact that I don't know. But let me sit with this, right? Let me contemplate it a bit. And I'll get back to you once I have a response that I feel comfortable providing. Side note, fun fact, right? Most of my businesses are generators or manifesting generators. I do have a couple of manifestors as well. No reflectors yet, which is fascinating, but also understandable, right? They're like 1% of the population. But anyway, I am the only projector out of my businesses, which is fascinating. But anyway, back to the point, right? I didn't have an answer for them. But I was honest and I said, I don't know. It's something that I'm still moving through. And now, today is Wednesday, so 1, 2, 3, 4 days later, I'm like, Emily, you know what you do. Like, I think the problem here for me is I interpreted the question as they wanted to be given an answer on how to do this for themselves, right? Like a clear cut, do this and it will fix you. And I don't like those questions. I don't like those answers because what works for me may or may not work for you, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's one of the reasons why working with me, just as a side note, right, promotional, is better if you're doing with me over time. 28 days minimum. And then we can extend from there depending on if we both consent to doing so, right? If we both agree that it's an energetic match. It's kind of like dating, right? You don't necessarily want to jump right into things. Take it slowly. Get to know one another, right? You might like everything about me on paper, but then you experience my energy up close and personal, and it rubs you the wrong way, right? And vice versa. So I'm just saying that. But anyway, point being, right? I don't like providing general answers saying this will work for you because it worked for me, because that's bullshit, right? It is. But what I do, right? If I'm spiraling, I immediately know, Emily, you were triggered, right? Your core wound, your fear of rejection was triggered. My core wound is 49.4. The shadow of 49 is reaction. So I am reacting to an external or possibly internal stimulus, right? That is making me uneasy. Unease, fun fact, is the shadow of my sphere of life's purpose in the Gene Keys. That comes from your unconscious design earth placement. And if you're like playing with the Venus sequence, right? Like the core wounds is up here, it spirals down to your purpose. So my shadow of reaction spirals down makes me feel uneasy. Fascinating, right? Anyway, when I'm triggered, when I react, I pause. I breathe. 49 is in the solar center, which is very much tied to breath work and emotions, obviously. There's just so many tie-ins here that for me and my story is fascinating. But then I look at the other placements in my Venus sequence, right? 55.5 is my SQ. It's next in line. The shadow is victimization. Where or why do I feel victimized? Who's putting me there? Other people might be trying to, but ultimately, like, I'm the person that keeps me in that state of mind, right? So I need to break through that into freedom, which is the gift and the city of that gene key. I could go further down to my EQ, shadow of which is chaos, 3.3. Or I could go to my IQ, the shadow of which, 45.3, is dominance. Furthermore, my sphere of attraction, the shadow is corruption, right? So I look at my Venus sequence and I'm like, what are you feeling? What shadow are you in? Is the situation you are in corrupt in any way? If so, why? What are you calling in? Because yes, that external thing, person, system, industry, whatever the case may be, might be corrupt. But there's something about you that's attracting that. So that is the thing that needs to be addressed. So, give me a few days sometimes, right, to give a response. This is my post-dated response to the question I was asked on Saturday, April 11th, 2026. If you have any more questions, you know where to find me. With love, Kai. Just kidding. You know who I am.